Okay, let's start from a recap. So yeah, with Vinay, do you want to summarize anything what we covered yesterday?
Uh, you're asking me, Bala?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So we discussed about the different editions, like what are the editions that we have in Salesforce, and what are the restrictions for each of the editions. Like if you're going for a limited edition, they will have a limited a number of users and like that. And the um that's one thing that we discussed yesterday. Apart from that, I was trying to recollect.
Vinay, if you remember, you can pitch in. Yeah.
Apart from that, training modules are there. We can learn from the basic department. In the website, there are challenges, free computer challenges, there will get some points, badges, certifications. Um, am I audible?
Yeah, but very low volume we're hearing.
I will join you. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah, it's better now.
The trailing edge badges, modules, challenges, certifications, so we can get from the website, Salesforce organization, and information of the company when we log in the developer dot com salesforce.com on the interface of the uh, the UI of the Salesforce when we first log in, the lightning experience, classic experience we had seen yesterday.
Okay, good. That's what most of the information. So we covered, I'm just again summarizing. So we covered the editions, what we have. So we have basically unlimited, enterprise, professional, and essential versions in most of the clouds. So these editions are like specific to a cloud basis. So if it's sales cloud, this is what we have. And if it is a marketing, so I have given you one link. I think whether I have posted in the group or not, I don't remember. So in that link, we can see what are the different editions available for different clouds. Based on a cloud, we can see like what other editions are available. And um, and when we say unlimited, in the name itself, it's given that there is a no limit. So we are getting everything from Salesforce. There is no limit. Whatever the cloud offers, standard Salesforce, we'll get everything from a unlimited edition. It's a easy way to remember. And enterprise is somewhat big companies. Even though it's a big company, they don't want to go for unlimited. They want to get it, take it at a somewhat cheaper price. Then they will go for enterprise, but only difference between unlimited and enterprise will be very less. Only thing was the 24/7 support from a Salesforce is the main difference. And the two editions, enterprise and unlimited, we don't have any restrictions to how many license we take. We can take 1, 2, 3, 10, any number of license you can take. There is no upper band or lower band to it. And then professional and essentials. These two are like cheaper licenses, and we have a cap to the maximum number of license what we take. So these are like even not only the number of licenses we have cap, and we have so many limitations to the features that Salesforce offer. So we have to, like, when we are saying editions, you have to be more specific about the edition name. Okay. Like editions, but we have to be specific to the jargons or names that Salesforce refer. And so I want you to be specific, like even though you remember, if you have like mentioned the exact name, it would be like a different level. So try to focus on the jargons or names what we're using. So that's what I recommend. And Adipa, hi. And we are here like just summarizing what we have covered yesterday. And um, so mainly you have to remember what are the editions that Salesforce standardly offers. So you have like unlimited, enterprise, professional, and essentials. So essentials is a cheaper cost of cheaper edition, and will have very limited access. If you just look at the basic things also, you will just get a Salesforce mobile app other than that. And not only these changes, so if you expand below, there are a lot more features where you can observe. So in real time, what you will be fall into was you will be like learning the course, and you will get to know, okay, these are all features and all. But when you are in a real time project, or you were in a project, or you were hired in a company, then you might be a situation, some of the features are not available, some of the features are like not same as where what you learn in your developer edition. So you should not be surprised. Okay, so first thing you have to do was, whenever you have a login from any of your company, so you have to check the company information, the initial one, where you can find what is the edition that the company has purchased. If it is enterprise and unlimited, you don't see much surprises. But if you see essentials or a professional, you definitely see a really drastic change to the UI or the options or the features available. It will really surprise you. So we have to be always come to your company information and check the edition. And if you are not seeing it's enterprise or unlimited, there are like so many editions. I mean, other than this, they are like very popular things. But other than this, there are some other editions as well. So don't be surprised, and just go to Salesforce documentation, and you will have a comparison like that. Okay. And you have to go like what are the feature you are looking for, and whether it is available or not in that edition. Okay. And something, if some of your lead or manager asking for something, okay, you should have a proof of a document to show, okay, this is not supported for this edition, or you have to buy a feature license, or you have to go for different editions to make use of the standard Salesforce feature, or we have to think about any workaround solutions. So that's the background why I am giving what are editions here, and similar to the license. So what we're trying to explain here was, what are the Salesforce features available. There are like a different levels of or trimming of like controlling them. So one is like from Salesforce side, when they're selling, they'll control from editions. So whatever the editions you are taken, based on that editions, you have the restrictions or limitations based on the price you pay and what you get. Okay, so that's from Salesforce side, how you're like you're not even see your org from Salesforce itself, it will be controlled. And after that edition, based on the edition, you will be having a licenses. So if you have taken a professional edition, and even though if you purchase Salesforce license, it doesn't mean you will have full access. So the Salesforce license is full access to the edition that you have taken. So once you take in the edition, apart from the Salesforce edition, yesterday I showed you some other platform and chatter free and customer community licenses. Those communities are again drill down, or like again they will narrow down your features. That means that I mean that you will have a control on that. So that's your org. Salesforce has already controlled using the edition. So now you have your control. That means your organization. Let's say if you take enterprise or professional, so you have full features now. All full features are available only in a Salesforce license, but you have other licenses as well, where you will be not paying for them. Not paying for them means if it is provided free from a Salesforce, it's kind of a, what we can say, a complimentary from a Salesforce. Very few licenses you will get. And if you feel instead of Salesforce license, the other licenses are benefit to me or like is enough to fulfill my application, then you can ask Salesforce the more licenses, which is not Salesforce, but cost is not definitely the same as a Salesforce license. It will be cheaper than this. That will be, we'll get to know when we have a discussion with the Salesforce on that. Okay, so here I want you to remember the editions. When we are saying editions, more specific to the names of edition, that will really help you. Not only the editions, whatever we discuss in this course, try to remember exact names of it. When you say editions, okay, these are the editions. License, remember it, like if we have more licenses, like hundreds of licenses, don't remember everything, but just remember like a few of them. Okay, Salesforce platform, charter free, standard user, like whatever the you see, like more number of licenses, or like when we discuss in the, I mean, in the coming sessions, what we discuss more in the licenses part, try to remember the exact names of the licenses. Okay, any questions here? I'll just move on.
Yeah, I have a quick one, Bala. So, at any given time, for example, my organization is unlimited, and at any given point of time, I want to downgrade
Mm-hmm.
my license.
Okay,
We can always do that.
yeah, we can always do that. The only thing was, so when we downgrading the editions, so suppose if we have done some things which are available in the top version or like unlimited, and you when you're downgrading the edition, if you are losing that features, you have to make sure that you're not losing any of those features.
So, when you say features,
Hmm.
uh,
Let's say when you say unlimited to enterprise, only the thing was 24/7 support, and there will be some the space issues, like when unlimited edition based on a license, you might get some space, I means the storage, data size and storage size. It might impact the sizes as well. Okay, so if you are not really using that much of space, and you are not taking really that support from a Salesforce, and then definitely you can downgrade to enterprise, and you can do a cost cutting. Let's say if you're downgrading from enterprise to professional, then there will be a huge impact. Like you don't see so many features are not available in professional, and let's say in enterprise you don't have a limit to the number of license you take, but in professional it will be a single digit or max 25, not more than that. So in there, like you cannot downgrade. There are like some limitations. Mm, See, if you're using unlimited enterprise and you are taking just 2 or 3 licenses, and it is not really a best option there. So obviously we have to switch to professional or essentials, or like we have to think in other way around. So we are getting more features. It's just less licenses. It doesn't matter when you are like what we can say, your features, the mainly you're targeting with a different, even though you're paying only 2 licenses, you have taken a different license, not a Salesforce, like force.com or app builder licenses, where you're not paying full. So you are paying for a complementary or subsidiary license, which will have which you will getting at a cheaper cost than a Salesforce license. So there are so many considerations you need to check. So what are the major licenses we're using in your edition, and whether Salesforce will give you with a different edition or not. If you're not really using the features of your edition, definitely you can downgrade or upgrade your editions, even though if you already purchased one edition. Is it answers your question, Madani?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? And coming to Vinay point, like yes, we had like Salesforce standard training, and that name of that is a trailhead. Trailhead we have to mention. That's what we have to focus on. So trailhead is used to self-learning platform that Salesforce offers, where you can maintain your certification and do trainings in different features and modules of a Salesforce that Salesforce freely offers. Okay, instead of saying like company provided free website or something, you have to mention like Trailhead is the place where Salesforce offers free training, predefined modules where it give like a trial mixes, trial heads, and it will offers badges, super badges. Sometimes the Salesforce offers a super badge with a free Salesforce voucher. The Salesforce voucher is used to um, attend a Salesforce certification exam with a free of cost. And when you apply for a Salesforce certification, the cost is $200 if it is a normal certification, if it is not an advanced. Advanced certifications are like really huge cost and vary. The price will vary from certification to certification. But normal certifications like admin, PD1, or like sales cloud, marketing cloud, commerce cloud, cloud-based certifications or like basic certifications, they will charge $200. And in the market or in the companies, there are so many vouchers they will provide, like $100, $70, $40 kind of discount vouchers are freely available. So if you're appearing for any certifications, do check or like let me know. I can give you that free vouchers. It's not 100% free, but you will get at least $40 or $70, at least some discount you will get with that vouchers. And sometimes Salesforce give like a full free voucher if you have cleared this super badge by this time. Okay, always you can check that in the Trailhead communities and all. Okay, that's all like a recap for the yesterday's. I think we have taken a lot more time, but that's a good thing. Is I want to be conveyed that what are all we need to specific about when we having a sessions. And let me know if you have any questions, and we'll move on. Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, right. Here we have created one Salesforce org. So when we sign up, we have to use developer.salesforce.com. So here, what I'm going you a task for tomorrow is everyone on the call, they might be already having the developer edition. If not, create one developer edition and use, instead of searching in Google, try to directly go to developer.salesforce.com to sign up developer edition org. And once you have then you will get a verification email like this, and then you have to verify your account, and then you will be navigate to set your password. That's all we have seen yesterday. So when you log in next time, it will ask you a two-factor authentication like a verification code. So when it will ask, okay, so this verification code will be sent whenever you are logging in from a different browser or a different machine. So this kind of a two-step authentication. So when you get a code, so there is an option to add your email or add your mobile number also, you can do that. So once you do that, and if you feel that I don't want this verification code, I want to log in wherever I want, like it could be my iPad or laptop or my phone. I don't want to get this uh, two-factor authentication. I want to directly log in. So how can I get rid of this code, verification codes? That's where compromising on two-factor authentication, you have to remember. But Salesforce will offer you that uh, if you feel that some of the IPs as your personal devices and you don't want this two-factor authentication to be enabled, you can skip them. So what I'm trying to cover here was they are like the security of a Salesforce. What are the different levels of security? For the login itself, we can restrict or allow the IPs, IP address. When I'm saying IP address. So it could be IP address of your system or your MacBook or your mobile. So how you can do that is, so whatever we do, I already told you, once you log in, you have to go to the setup here from the top right wheel. You have to go to setup, and in the setup, um, so I have one login, right? Just I did username and password. So all the logins or like who are having access to your org, you have to check is the users in your organization. I might not covered or like I might not specified that. So when you are doing a sign up for a developer edition, again it is your org. This is your org created, and here not only you can give access to the other users also. Like you see here, here are some standard users. Or like standard Salesforce will create some users like integration user, and here a security user and chatter user, and here you are the one. So these other users will be used to connect your system with the other platforms. Okay, so if you have any integrations, you can use of integration user. If you have any kind of a chatter in a different platforms, you can make use of this. So there will be default users that Salesforce will create. No need to worry about that. So all want to know here was, so you have one login, right? SFX batch one. So when you look at here, you can see a login history over there. The login history, see here you can see IP address, like where you log in. So here, this is the new PC I'm using other than like yesterday's. So yesterday I have one IP here using, and I have logged into the Trailblazer, right? I have enabled the login using a Trailblazer as well. So it's showing as a Trailblazer with a different IP address. And this system, like today I'm using a different PC, right? And this having a different IP. So if you feel like whenever like you're logging in from this PC, you don't want that verification code has to be sent. What I am saying is you can allow that from a IP range that you have set. So this IP ranges you can set at a profile level. So you see the profile here, right? So it cannot be on a user level. For each user, you cannot do that. You can do at a organization level and at a profile level. Okay, what is profile? We'll cover later. So I'm going to show you one of the feature in that profile. So in the profile, you will see login IP ranges. So when you don't have any range, whenever you have like new IP, and when you're trying to log in from a new IP, when I'm saying new IP address, it could be your new browser, new device, or like if you cleared your cache, whatever the scenario, that will be treated as a new IP, and it will not capture any IP here. So you can give a IP range here. Like if you want to give us only one single IP, you can give a same IP address from the start and the end. And if you think that you have a range from so IP will be like this, split with 3 dots and like 4 numbers. This number will vary from 0 to 255. Okay, so I'm giving the max 255, 255, 255, 255. That means I'm giving all full range of the IPs. So whatever the IP, I don't want to get a two-factor authentication. So it's not a best way to do, and you're not supposed to do if you're working in some organization. Okay, but the thing was, you have an option to skip some of the IP address from a two-factor authentication. So now I read like what all the users they are using, like the system administrator profile, they can log in from any IP address and they will not get any two-factor authentication. Suppose your requirement is to, okay, you have your company have some IP address range, and you if it is out of that range, it will be asked a two-factor authentication. Okay. Is that
Okay.
clear?
Can you tell me a little more about the IPs you did, right? 0.0.0.
Yes.
So
Yes.
can you explain a little bit about that? How it is calculated? No.
Okay. So we know the numericals, right? Like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. So
Yeah.
it is also similar. So it's also a number, but the number divided by the dot. So you see, so mostly if you find any address, what you will see was you will see like this 3 dots, and instead of 0, you might have a different number. That number range will be between 0 to 255. Not no negative, not more than 255, not less than 0. It will be in the range of 0 to 255. Okay, so mm, mm, so whatever the IP you found, it will be in this range only, 0 to 255. So you have like a 4 places. In these 4 places, you will be having a different numbers. It could be same all the time. Well, I mean, like 25, 25 dot, 25 dot, 25 dot, 25. Or it could be like 116 dot 230 dot 14 dot 231. It could be any number. But when you're saying range, so you can see here, right? Like so decimal places. When we look at um, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6 is your ones place, tens, hundreds, and thousands, right? Similarly, when you give IP address, whatever the number you have, like this. So when you want to give like a single IP address, you will give like a same IP address in start and end. That will be fine. If you have a range, let's say if your organization having the IP range of, so you have IP range of from 100 to 200. So you have a common starting of this 3 places, and you have a range from 100 to 200. Whatever the IP address that is falling between 100 to 200, you want to allow without two-factor authentication, then you have to give start like this and end like this. That's how you have to give.
Okay. So the 255 is the max range.
Yeah, 255 is the max for
Okay.
each. For what are that in between dots we're seeing, right? That is the max is a 255. And that's why, like, I shown you the one of the example of the whatever the IP address I just logged in. I'm using like two different machines, right, yesterday and today. And here you see, right, this is what IPs I got. So this is also less than 255, less than 255, less than 255. This is how usually the IP would be. Okay.
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 Balu,
Hmm.
can we throw restrictions to a particular IP address?
It's not a restriction. So we have a two-factor authentication by default, and we can skip that. If it is not in that IP range, you will get a two-factor authentication. Skipping means,
No, okay.
okay, when you want to skip, what you have to do was, like, okay, you have only one IP address that need to be have a two-factor, and for others you don't want, or
Not like that, only particular IP address, I don't want to use the account.
okay, you don't want to give access at all.
Yeah.
Mm,
But I think like if you use different browser, there will be separate different IP address.
mm.
Uh, I want a particular machine not to use the account. Is there any?
No, we don't have like mission specific IP address. Usually it's based on network, right? Actually, IP address with your network and system also it will have. It's not specific to system actually. I mean, we cannot stop like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and okay. So this is the one point I want to cover here. Restrictions or like control of the IP ranges. So this is one of the security feature we have. And what else we have? Yeah, I want to cover like some of the terms like users here. So user creation. The next level of security is so now you have a user, and there are like some of the attributes where you can suppose if you want, sorry, if you want to give access to the new user in your organization. So here, this is your developer edition of your organization. So you can create users. That means you give someone an access, or you can revoke the access to someone. Okay, how you can add some more user or like some other users to your organization, or how you will remove access to the existing users. So first thing was you can add a new user in your org. It could be any edition, doesn't matter. So when I'm saying org, it could be any edition you would take, but it will be common for all the orgs. So you have to create a new user. And when you create a user, whatever the mandatory fields you see here, these are like basic things like last name, alias, email, username, nickname. The only thing was unique name has to be a unique, or like it has to be available kind of username. Like if when you create a Gmail, right, it has to be available. So similarly, username also available when you're trying to save, and if the username is not available, it will show that okay, already the username has been used in some other org or same org. It will give that message. So you have to give a username as a unique one. And so these are like looks like a person information or like unique information, nothing else. So other than that, you will see something